In 2024, I proposed an unorthodox art project to the Lithgow Library. I wanted to make full use of their available wall space to hang a massive hand-painted paper scroll. Depicting a journey through imaginary places, the artwork was to be both a personal statement and a memorial to a mining disaster early in Lithgow's history. Encouraged and supported by the staff at the library, I began a long process of accumulation of images and ideas, combining design, drawing and text. Collaboration with the library's community art group produced some outstanding and unexpected results. I began to research mythologies of the underworld and afterlife amongst various cultures, as well as the imagery connected to these stories. I discovered many similar narratives and depictions of a journey through hostile landscapes. These suggested disparate yet interconnected pictorial imagery, as well as a communality of ideas and intent, suffering and redemption, struggle and release, and the quest for salvation. In order to focus and collect my ideas, I draw them, even if they are incomplete or sketchy. Often my first thoughts are valuable, and later in a project, I refer back and develop them. I had initially considered compressing the journey into an A4 size book, more of a standard graphic novella form, but later opted for a more extensive format. For inspiration, I often draw from classical artworks, finding in their form and power a succinct way of expressing my own feelings. It's something I've always done, learning from great artists, something between a homage and sampling. For this project, there were many artists and writers to refer to. Doré's illustrations for Dante's Inferno, Rodin's Gates of Hell, William Blake's Vision of the Underworld, Bruegel, Arthur Boyd, Natalie Goncharova, and the many artists like Géricault who have depicted horses over the years. I used a mixture of pen and brush and ink to create a woodcut feel, to give the whole work a feeling of antiquity. In 1920, as a result of a small fire in the Oakey Park Colliery in Lithgow, 298 horses were suffocated. This tragedy was a motivating factor for Under Lithgow, and the symbolic release of the spirits of these animals from the underground resonates with the protagonist's own escape. I wanted to memorialise these horses by doing an equivalent number of drawings of them. Some were pre-existing works that I took from my sketchbooks, and some I modelled on various artworks over the centuries. I felt like I wanted to do justice to these beautiful creatures, and I worked hard to express their form and movements. I measured the various wall spaces of the library, trying to imagine how an extended artwork could work above the bookshelves. The text would have to be readable, and the various sections self-contained, like scenes from a film. In fact, I designed it like a film script and storyboard to help tell the story. However, I wanted the text to be more poetry than prose, to allow the viewer to formulate their own perceptions as to meaning and intent. I drew various iterations of the narrative, allowing my changing feelings to influence the content. Rather than be protective of the project, I opened it up to public scrutiny, inviting suggestions and comments. Other artists and non-artists came up with some ideas that improved the concept and added many features that I would never have thought of. In order to give it a local flavour and extend this idea, I worked with the library's Saturday art group to create both collaged elements and to also work directly onto the paper. Their input across 3 sessions was invaluable in achieving a wonderful conglomeration of styles and images.